Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Q&A Thursday. My name is Rachel Harrison Sund. I've got a few great questions for you today, so let's just jump right in. First question is from Celeste, and Celeste asks, is there a way to add more pictures of the journal to the listing? So unfortunately for print on demand through KDP, there is no other way to add additional images. You just get the front and back cover and the look inside feature. So when you see other books that have that feature, it means that they haven't actually used KDP's print on demand service. They've had that book printed somewhere else, and then they're selling it as a product, as an Amazon seller. So unfortunately, no. I mean, we'd all love to be able to add those extra images. But maybe sometime in the future. Okay, so Peter asks, how important is it to get those reviews? So there's no question that reviews are important and help a book to generate sales, but I like to take the approach of just letting your book accumulate reviews organically. A lot of people engage in things like book review swaps and things like that. That is actually against Amazon's terms of service. And also you can't offer a book in exchange for a review. That's also against Amazon's terms of service. So you really want to kind of steer clear of that. I mean, it can definitely be tempting, but if you're producing a high quality book, your book will generate organic reviews over time. So you kind of just have to wait it out and trust in that process, and really focus on creating a quality book rather than trying to get reviews. So you just kind of have to trust that they will generate on their own. Hi, Lisa. Okay, so Heather asks, do you recommend creating a new Amazon account when signing up for KDP? I have a personal account already and it looked like I could use that, but I paused before doing anything so that I could ask. So first off, you are definitely only allowed to have one personal Amazon account. So definitely do not open up a second one. This can sometimes look shady to Amazon, so you don't want to risk having either one of those accounts shut down or both of them, just in case it looks like you're kind of, up to something a little bit shady. So you just want to have one personal account and you can use that to publish all of your books. The only exception to that rule is you can open up a second account under a business name. So what you could do is you could start publishing your books under your personal account, and then if you decide to incorporate, you could either go into your personal account and update the information to reflect your new business information, or you could start up a second account under a business name, because technically that isn't you having two accounts, it's you having one account, and then your business is a separate legal entity. So that's something completely separate. So that's the exception to that rule there. Yes, definitely against the rules, Lisa. Don't do it. Okay, so I don't have a name for this question. But the question is, what are your thoughts on pen name versus real name, or creating a business name for the author section? So you can definitely do either, but I like to create a different pen name for each themed brand that I have going. So let's say, for example, I've got a catalog of books that all have a dog theme to them. I might think of a pen name that has, that's related to the theme of dogs. And then if I have another brand that I'm publishing, nature-themed journals and other low-content books under, I might have more of a nature-themed pen name. So I like to do that just so that the pen name fits in with the theme that I'm going for within that brand, and it just, strengthens that brand overall. The other thing is, if you have really disparate themes, you don't want to put those under the same pen name. So a really obvious example of this is if you've got journals that have adult language on the cover, like maybe a swear word or something, you don't want that under the same pen name as maybe a children's coloring book or something like that, obviously. So I've got multiple pen names, and I definitely recommend that you do the same thing. It's just nice to kind of strengthen your brands individually that way, rather than have them all under one name, especially under your personal name. Okay, so we've got one final question here from Adam, and Adam says, coloring books look a bit interesting, but I'm not sure how you'd actually be able to cheaply and quickly get so many images made. Any tips? So this is something, obviously if you're artistic, you can create those images yourself. Most of us are not artistic to that level, so we're either going to want to outsource that somewhere like Fiverr or Upwork. It could, however, get expensive if you want to produce 20 or 30 different pages in this coloring book to have an artist do those from scratch. That can get really expensive. So what I've done in the past is I've gone to stock image sites and manipulated files. So oftentimes you can get a single image file that contains multiple smaller images. Like let's use, like children's cartoons as an example. You might find one image file that has maybe 10 or 12 smaller cartoon images within that file. So once you download that file, you can extract each one of those images and use those on a separate page of your coloring book. Now, obviously, if it's a coloring book, you want something that's outlines only, because obviously you want the interiors available to be colored in. So you can either manipulate those images yourself. If you're handy with Illustrator, you could put them into Illustrator and just kind of remove the outlines and use those. Or you could outsource that portion of it to someone on Fiverr or Upwork, where you send them the file and they remove the interior portion for you so that you're left with the outlines. Or you could have them, if it's not something that's easily able to separate the outline from the interior of the image, you could just send them the file and have them trace over it in Illustrator. Again, if you're kind of handy in Illustrator, or even something like MS Paint or something, I think you could probably do that in yourself. And yeah, you can just kind of trace over it. So that's actually another good idea. If you know how to use MS Paint, you could download one of these image files and you could do that yourself. You could just put them into MS Paint and you could just trace over that image. And if you've got, like I said, 5 or 10 or 12 smaller image within a larger one, that's pretty inexpensive because you're just downloading that one image and then you're able to create, 10 or however many pages you want for your coloring book. So yeah, I hope that's helpful. That's all the questions I've got time for today. But if you have further questions, be sure to leave them in the comments below and I will answer them next time. So have a great day, guys. We will see you next time.